As Spice Mass 2023 draws near, people are being cautioned against the use of loudspeakers, musical instruments, or amplified musical instruments in public places without the proper permits. ASP Simon Douglas and Corporal Sherwin Noel were guests on GBN's To the Point program and took the opportunity to highlight the importance of the Noise Control Act. The RGPF Communications Relations Head, ASP Douglas, says noise can be disturbing and annoying, and also a health concern for some citizens. He noted that noise in Grenada is controlled by the Noise Control Act and calls on the public to be more considerate.
We want to start off by making a special appeal to the public, everyone, to be considerate, right? Consider the old person or the aged person in your community, or it may not be your community. Persons driving vehicles, you may be driving through a community late at night, and you have to be considerate enough to turn down your music if it was loud and things of that sort. And you really want persons to cooperate in that regard.
The ASP stated that an application must be submitted by an individual or group to play amplified music.
An application, according to the law, an application for a noise permit must be made at least 10 days before the intended day of the event or activity. All right? And I also want to make it clear to the public that should your application get to the police later than 10 days before the intended day of your event or activity, your application may not be considered. All right, we want to make that clear. It is not a case of the police not wanting to give people permission, or the police wanting to interrupt or interfere with people having fun, or people making a dollar, as we say it. But we must consider the fact that numerous persons would send in applications.
Yes.
And if you do not give us enough time to process those applications, then we would have a problem.
Corporal Noel outlined the measures that are needed for people to play amplified music.
There are only two types of permits that are issued in relation to, what we say noise or excessive noise. If excessive noise, is to be made, and they fall under two categories: construction work. The other type of permit that is issued is in relation to loudspeakers and musical instruments.
All right.
So someone intending to have a party, a dance, or maybe a queen show, they intend to use loudspeaker or amplified sounds, need to apply to the Commissioner of Police for permission to use that equipment or that musical instrument.
Any person who operates a loudspeaker or musical instrument in breach of the conditions or restrictions attached to a permission granted by the Commissioner of Police commits an offense and is subject to criminal prosecution. For a first offense, a fine of $250, a second offense, a fine not exceeding $500, or imprisonment for 6 months, or both. For a third offense, a fine not exceeding $1,000, or imprisonment for 9 months, or both, and a fourth offense, imprisonment for 12 months. The RGPF is encouraging members of the public to comply with the law and request permission to play amplified sounds within a reasonable time for their activities. As the build-up to Carnival continues, it is expected that scores of people will be applying to the RGPF for permission to play amplified music. For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.